How you all doing? This is Nathaniel Swopes of Swope Said It, and today I want to talk about Larry Nassar. Larry Nassar was a sports doctor for the USAA gymnastics program. If you do not know, Larry Nassar was convicted of sexually abusing female gymnasts. He was stabbed during an altercation Sunday with another incarcerated person at the United States Penitentiary Coleman Center in Florida. Uh, the article I'm going to read to you is from ESPN.com. Nassar was stabbed 10 times, at least twice in the neck. So those of you that don't know, being stabbed in the neck is very serious. So this was an attempt on his life. A source with knowledge on the details of the attack told ESPN. The Associated Press first responded to the attack Monday. Two people familiar with the incident but not authorized publicly discussed it and told the AP that Nassar was in stable condition Monday after being stabbed in the back and chest. When reached by ESPN, the Federal Bureau of Prison cited security concerns and not confirming the identity or health condition of any inmate, but noted, "We can confirm on Sunday, July 9th, 2023 at approximately 2:35 p.m. an inmate was assaulted at the United States Penitentiary Coleman II in Sumterville, Florida. Responding staff immediately initiated life-saving measures. Staff requested emergency medical service, EMS, and life-saving efforts continue. The inmate was transported by EMS to local hospital for further treatment and evaluation. The Bureau of Prisons also noted that no other staff or inmates were injured. To that, the FBI have been notified of the incident while an internal investigation continues. So, for those of you who don't, recently, Fleece Johnson was released from jail, who's from Louisville, Kentucky. He's nicknamed the Booty Warrior. And he talked about all the time how, in some of his prison stories, that if you were convicted of doing something wrong to a kid, prisoners would attack you. You know what I'm saying? So Larry Nassar was accused of, abusing female gymnasts of age range from I believe adolescents, teenage to some of the adults. So he's been doing this for a long time since some of these were kids. So I'm gonna continue with the article. Nassar, who's 59 years old, was sentenced in 2017 to 60 years in prison on child pornography charges. In 2018, he was sentenced to an additional 40 to 175 years in prison for sexually assaulting gymnasts, including Olympic medalists. And in February 2018, he received an additional 40 to 125 years in Michigan State Prison for pleading guilty to an additional 3 counts of sexually assault in Eaton County, Michigan. And I believe Larry Nassar was also the gymnast doctor for a Big Ten university. If I'm not mistaken, it was Michigan State. If I'm not mistaken, don't actually quote me on that, but I believe he's also for one of the universities. Continuing with the article, originally sent to prison in Tucson, Arizona, he was attacked shortly after being released into the general population. Authorities transferred Nassar to his current maximum security federal prison about 90 minutes from Tampa. And now, after this most recent attack, a source tells ESPN that Nassar would need to be moved to another prison. Former gymnast Rachel Dawn Hollander, who was the first woman who publicly accused Nassar of sexual assault, reacted on Twitter to the latest attack on the former gymnastic doctor, saying, "None of the women I've spoken with are rejoicing today. We're grieving the destruction across the destruction across so much. We're grieving the reality that protecting others from him came with near certainty we would wake up to this someday. I want him to face the severe prison sentence he received because of the voices of survivors," said attorney and victim advocate Sarah Klein, the first known woman to be abused by Nassar. "I absolutely do not support violence because it's morally wrong, and death would be an easy out for Nassar." Nassar admitted to sexually assaulting athletes when he worked at Michigan State University and USA Gymnastics with trained Olympians. Separately, he pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography. During victim impact statements in 2018, several athletes testified that over the course of Nassar's more than 2 decades of sexual abuse, that had told adults what was happening, including coaches and athletic trainers, but that it went unreported. More than 100 women, including Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles, collectively sought more than $1 billion from federal government for the FBI's failure to stop Nassar when agents became aware of allegations against him in 2015. He was arrested by Michigan State University police in 2016, more than a year later. Michigan State, which accused of missing chances over many years to stop Nassar, agreed to pay $500 million to more than 300 women and girls who were assaulted by him. USA Gymnastics and USA Olympic and Paralympic Committee made a $380 million statement. Again, that article comes from ESPN. And again, this is not the first time that Nassar was attacked. So he's been attacked twice, but this attack was very serious. Being stabbed in the chest and being stabbed in the neck and being stabbed in the back. Like I said before, going back to Fleece Johnson, he recalls how dangerous prison can be. Everybody has a weapon, and depending on your charge, prisoners will attack you. And for Mr. Nassar, it just seems like anytime anybody's around him, they're going to try to make an attempt on his life. So it's very unfortunate what he did to all those young girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to say what people deserve, but it's very unfortunate, what he's going through in prison. But it's also very unfortunate what he did to those young girls and the USA gymnasts, and also what he did to the young ladies at Michigan State University. So I believe no matter where they move him to, there's going to be prisoners trying to get at him, unless they just put him in a hole for the rest of his life. Which they probably won't do. Eventually they're going to have to let him out to the yard. He's going to have, they probably eat publicly. But, besides him being in a hole, and he's not, like a very rich person for them to have enough money for him to be that well protected, like in a white collar crime prison. So, like I said, I think that there's going to be a lot of prisoners, just constantly trying to attack them. And there's so many prisoners that are serving so many years or serving multiple life sentences that they don't care about getting more years. You know what I'm saying? They know that when they see them, they're going to try to do something to them. And they don't care about getting another 10 years, another 20 years, another 30 years added on. They see it as like, you shouldn't have been messing with those girls. And this is what you get. You know what I'm saying? That's how the prisoners see it. And I've been listening to a lot of the Fleece Johnson stories. And like he said, he got locked up around 14, 15. And he was locked up with grown men. And they were challenging him. So, Larry, this is a national-wide story. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be many prisoners, when they see him, they're going to get at him. You know what I'm saying? So that's prison life, and it just is what it is. So it's a sad story on both ends. But, again, this is Nathaniel Swope's, signing out. You all have a good one.